Back catch you with another one. Another one. Another one. It's a late night. We out here. We out here, man. We out here. Saturday night. And I'm feeling right. Yeah, we out here. I don't know how many people gonna show up. Most people probably sleep at the club, you know, out and about. Ain't no telling where you at this time of night. It's 12:35 on the East Coast. And you know what they say about the East Coast? East Coast is the best coast. You know? But regardless of when you see this, I'm going to talk about something that you probably never heard nobody talk about before. You know? Talking about long distance relationships. And what you don't know, nobody's going to tell you what I'm about to say. And this is usually how it goes. Because of the politics, the politricks that exists between the U.S. government and all these other countries. That's why things are the way they are. You know. So yeah, let me talk a little bit about that. And P.S. and by the way, I got a best-selling new book on Amazon.com. Love at first click. You know, it's flying off the shelves. You know, over 500 pages a game. You know, but I feel good about this book. You know, I've been sitting on it for 5 years. Yeah, smash the like button. Share the video. I've been sitting on this book for 5 years. 5 years. I finally put it out. You know, there's another book I have. I've been sitting on that for 10 years. But it don't have anything to do with dating. It's a completely different type of book. But you know, I write a lot. I keep documents and Word documents of shit. You know what I'm saying? I had a document on my first computer. I think that shit maybe been on my computer. Ooh, for 15 years. I had a Word document on my computer. I just kept adding to it. I kept writing a chapter after a chapter for like at least 10 years. And I said I was supposed to release it into a book one day. I just never did it until this year. I'm doing it. It don't have, but it don't have anything. It's a book all about social media, basically. But a lot of times, I'll sit on things for years before I release it. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but that's just my thing. Yeah, but smash the like button. So let's talk about the politics of the long distance relationships. Yeah. Now, look, I've met people from all over the world. I know people from all over the world, still to this day, right? I mean, some people I'm cool with, some of them I'm not. Some people I lost contact with, some I haven't. You know, I've been knowing people for a long time, all over the country, all over the world, right? But it's damn near impossible for me to keep in touch with everybody. That's just not reality. Some people, they move. Some people they're like fucking like nomads, digital nomads. They travel around from country to country. If things ain't going well, they move to another country. So when that's the case, you can't keep in contact with people like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. But a lot of these people are a lot of people will come to me and say, hey, do long distance relationships work? And I always say it depends. Depends on the people that's involved. That's that's going to determine if it's going to work out. And it's going to depend on where they're at in their life. And it depends on what country they're in. Are they in their country? Or are they in somebody else's country? Now, if they're in somebody else's country, what are they doing there? How did they get there? Are they legal or illegal in that country? You know what I'm saying? Now, are they in their home country? It depends on how they living in there. It depends on their living situation in their country. It really depends on the living situation in whether it's their country or somebody else's country, especially. But the main problem is, let's say she's in her country, her home country, right? The main problem is a lot of these girls are not going to be able to get visas. That's the biggest problem you're going to run into. The main problem you're going to run into, a lot of these gals, can't get a visa to travel. They can't get a vacation visa. They can't get no kind of visa. That's the problem. And it's not really their fault. It's because certain countries have different relationships with certain countries. And it's been that way for a long time. Especially if you live in some of the African countries. A lot of those countries on that side of the world are known for scammers. So a lot of those countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Niger, hell, even South Africa. They're known for scamming. And a lot of people don't want those. They don't want people from those countries around in their country. Right? Just like let's take there's a lot of Nigerians in Japan, right? Man, Japan is kicking a lot of Nigerians out, right? As we speak, right now. Just started like in the beginning of the year because, like I said, they have a bad reputation. And everywhere they go, they're running scams. Now, I'm not saying every Nigerian person is a scam. There's no absolutes. We understand this. But there's enough of them that's running scams. And that puts them on the radar, and it makes it bad for the other Nigerians that's living in Japan. So that's why a lot of Nigerians are being deported. And this is happening in Europe, Japan, pretty much all the westernized countries or colonies. I think a lot of people just get it's tired of the bullshit. Yes. So I say all that to say this. A lot of those people from Nigeria are not going to be able to get visas. They're not going to be able to do it because the restrictions are going to be so. I mean, goddamn, they're going to make it difficult for you. You got to have a bag. You got to have a bag of money. You got to have, of course, you got to have a passport, visa, certain amount of money in your bank account. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? That's practical. But then they might say something like, well, who you going to see? The person you going to see, of course they want to know the address, where you going. That makes sense. And they might say, well, the person you going to see might have to have, I don't know, 30,000 in his bank account. Or he might have to make a certain amount of money a year on a certain type of job. I mean, they could come up with anything. But they don't do this with a lot of other countries. Like, for example, if I wanted to go to Japan right now, all I need is a passport. I don't need no visa to go to Japan. All I need is a passport. I can buy me a ticket right now, right this minute, to Japan, be on a flight tomorrow. I can go to the airport let's say I got a ticket to go to Japan, and I want to leave at 8:30 in Charlotte Airport. I can get a ticket right now. Pack my bag, grab my passport, go to the airport, be there at 8:30, get on the flight. I'm on my way to Japan. I don't need no visa. I don't need no income verification. None of that. None of that. But these other countries, boy, they make it very difficult. They make it very difficult. And the people that live in these countries, they already know what I'm telling you to be true. That's why most of the girls that you meet online, they won't even entertain a long-term relationship or as soon as they find out that you're from America or you're from a place that's way on the other side of the world from them, they man, shit, fuck that. I ain't wasting my time because I ain't gonna ever see him because I can't get a visa, man. And what's the chances of him coming over here to see me? Probably not great. Not the first time. Maybe the second time. The first time, you're going to fly all the way over there. There's some fools that do that, by the way, but I wouldn't do it. I mean, if I never seen you before, I'm just talking to you on the phone or talking to you online, I would not fly 7 to 8 hours, 12 hours away to see you for the first time if I've never seen you before. If I'm just getting to know you, you might set me up. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's some fools that do take that chance. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of girls don't even entertain long distance relationship. Right? Even if she live in Brazil, she wouldn't even entertain it. And in Brazil, yeah, you gotta have a visa in Brazil. But in Brazil, they don't make it complicated though. In Brazil, all you gotta do is just pay the money. That's it. I think it's like $120 something. That's it. You pay the visa, passport, boom. That's it. They're not asking for anything else, And last I checked, I think they were going to go away with the visa at some point this year, if I'm not mistaken. I read something. I forget what site it was. As far as Brazil goes, but even when with the visa, Brazil, they don't make it complicated at all. They just want the money. You pay the money. Have a nice day. You stamp your passport. Have a nice day, sir. That's it. They're not asking you where you're going and ain't none of that shit. I mean, they might, but even still, then they ain't gonna be on you like that. I think I might have asked someone asked me where I was going one time when I went to Japan, the person at the desk in immigration asked me where I was going one time. That's it. Any other place I go to, they never ask where I'm going to stay at. Never. You know. And I knew that person in Japan was just fucking with me. Because no one ever asked anything like that. Because I went through the immigration many times in Japan. And they never asked where I was going, who I was going to see. And no, they never asked any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But in certain countries, especially if they don't see a black person, if they don't see a black American person going through that immigration line very often, in certain countries, they'll say, oh, you look suspicious. I'm like, what? You know, weird. See, that's that weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? Them type of countries I kind of stay away from. That's that weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they do the same thing towards people from those African countries as well. You know, they'll go to some place like Japan, China, you know, and they'll say the same thing. Oh, you look suspicious. Looking suspicious, that could mean anything. You know what I'm saying? That can mean that they don't see a black person from anywhere, especially America, coming through the line very often. You know? So this is the main reason why a lot of girls don't even think about having a long-term relationship, because they don't believe it's going to go anywhere. Because they already know the hurdles that they have to jump through to get a visa in order to see you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of girls would like to, fly and see you and to some new destination or whatever. But a lot of times they can't afford it. And they can't afford to go. I'm going to say the majority of the time they can't afford to go. You know. Now, a lot of them do, it's I don't know if it's a new hustle that they have. It's kind of an old hustle. I call it the Arab hustle, where some Arab dude will fly them out to Dubai, Saudi Arabia, one of them Arab, Morocco, one of them Arab countries, But see, the thing is, they don't make it difficult to go to those countries. No, they don't make it difficult for them to go to those countries. They just pay the visa, pay the little fee, and that's it. They're not asking no more questions after that, And even if they made it difficult, the Arab dude, 9 times out of 10, knows somebody anyway. He knows somebody that knows somebody. So that's usually how that go. My mother and 3 sisters died in a car crash, the 20th, caused by an intoxicated driver on the highway. Wow, I feel so lonely, and it's been so hard without them around. Sorry to hear that, buddy. I know how you feel. Both of my parents are gone. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. It's tough. It's rough, man. But you got to do what your parents would want you to do. Don't crash out and start acting crazy, anything like that. But you're just mourning. That's normal. You know what I'm saying? And think about the good times that you and your parents had together since they've been alive on this planet, and y'all been together. Think about all the good times. That's what I do, man, every day. I think about my parents every day. It doesn't go anywhere. You just have to find a way to live with it. That's all. There's no technique. There's no tips that someone can show you or teach you how to deal with your loved ones dying. No, everyone has to find a way to deal with it on their own. That's really it. Nobody can help you with that. That's something you're going to have to work that out. That's the only thing that you have to work out on your own. When your loved ones die, Nobody can help you with that. People can help you with almost anything, but they can't help you with that. That's something you're gonna have to work out on your own. And what I do, I think about the positives. I think about the positive things. You know, I think about the good times, the holidays, the family reunions. You know, I think about my grandparents and my parents. Same thing. I think about the what if my parents were alive today, they would be proud of me. You know, they would be proud of me, and they would say, "Hey, keep going." You know, it's just that type of shit. Yeah, man. But yeah, that shit hard, man. When your parents die, man, it changes you. You never be the same again once your parents die. Cause my parents is gone, my grandparents is gone on both sides. Everybody gone. One of my brothers is gone. You know, only people that's left is my aunts and uncles. You know what I'm saying? But you know, my parents is gone. Grandparents is gone. My great grandparents, they been gone. My great grandparents died when I was on my mom's side when I was 10 years old. You know, yeah. When my grandmother died, when my great grandmother died, she was 97, and when my great grandfather died, he was 92. Yeah. My great grandfather died. I think I was about 7 years old. You know, and when my grandfather died, he was 88, and uh, and my grandmother lived to be 102. So my grandfather died at 88, and my grandmother lived to be 102. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, people live long lives in my family, but regardless, it's still tough when they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, thank you for your kind words. You're 14? Oh damn. Well, yeah. Regardless of, that's even tougher when you're young. I had a brother that died when I was 13. My brother died when I was 13, and he was 23, and he had a huge impact on me at the time, and still do to this day. He committed suicide. That fool committed suicide, man. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. You know, but regardless, when people gone, man, they're gone, man. Nothing you can do about it. You just have to find a way to live with it. That's it, really. You know. I still have pictures of them everywhere. You know. I still do things to keep their name alive every once in a while. Like for example, I got my mom. I mentioned my parents' name in my book. You know what I'm saying? To keep their name alive, and I'm gonna create a T-shirt with my parents. You know, just to keep their name alive. That's all. Stuff like that. You know, because you got. I think about the positives. You know what I'm saying? That's how that helps me. It keeps me motivated. Yeah, I'm an author. I wrote 4 books. Yeah, Love at First Click. I got 4 books on Amazon.com. 4 of them. Yep. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yeah, man. So, you know, that's how it is. You know, it's tough. You know, it's tough, man. But, you know, that's part of the reason why I wrote this book. Because I had this manuscript for like 5 years. I released it because of my parents. yeah, I released it because of my parents, man. That they motivated me, you know. Yeah, because I have dreams about my parents every once in a while. That's a great achievement. Yeah, it is great. Yeah, yeah, man. I think so, man. I wrote. I never thought I would write 4 books. I thought I would write 2 of them and that, or maybe 1 or 2 of them, and that'd be it. And now, man, I'm about to write what this year. I'm gonna have 6. We got 6 books this year. I'm gonna write a kids book and another book. So that's gonna be what 6, 6 total books. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, man. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. When some, you know, you're gonna get hit in life. Everyone's gonna have struggles, but it's what you do. When you get knocked down, you got to get back up eventually. It's okay to mourn and be sad. Yeah, that's there's nothing wrong with that. But that's how it is, man. But I digress, man. Yeah, man. But when it comes to meeting people overseas, um, like I said, a lot of people don't. A lot of women won't entertain it. They won't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? As soon as if you're on Bumble or Tinder or Match.com or Plenty of Fish, um, first off, there's a lot of fake profiles on there anyway. There's a lot of fake profiles on there anyway, and they done take trolling to the next level. Um, and what I mean by trolling to the next level, you got fake profiles on there of people perpetrating like they want to meet somebody, but in reality they don't. They don't. And most of these people, I don't know if this is coincidence or not, but most of these people that have these fake profiles that's acting like they want to meet somebody just happen to be from some of these countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Niger, uh, where else? Where else I see profiles from? Russia. Yeah, right. Can't leave Russia out either. Can't leave Russia out. There's a lot of profiles on Tinder and Bumble, fake profiles of women pretending that like they want to meet somebody, but in reality they don't. Because what's gonna happen the longer you chat with them? First off, they already know. They already know that you're in America. They can see your profile just like you can see theirs. So you can see that a lot of them will say they're in travel mode. They'll say they're in travel mode, right? So what that means is they mobile, basically. But in reality, they're not mobile. They're in their home country, wherever they're at. But they want to meet, they say they want to meet somebody over here or somebody wherever their target destination is, right? But they really don't. They're being paid to do that online, right? And the reason why you'll be able to tell they're being paid to do that, because if you say, hey, we need to talk, we need to get on the phone, we need to get on WhatsApp, or you can even take my phone number or whatever. I'll take your phone number and call you. As soon as they think you're being serious, most of them they're gonna get gone. They're out, because the gig is up, man. Shit, she ain't being paid enough to stick around to get on the phone with you, because the reality is this: most people never get on the phone with anybody. If you on Bumble, Tinder, most people never get off there and actually talk to somebody on the telephone. Most people never do it. Yeah. And most people never meet nobody in person from somebody off of Bumble, Tinder, Plenty of Fish, Match.com. Those numbers are very small. Yeah, it's on the bestsellers list. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. First month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those numbers are very small of percentage of people where people meet people all the time, or people meet people from any of these sites. You know, it ain't a lot of people that meet people. You know, it ain't. You know, most guys don't even ask a woman for the phone number online. They don't. You know, most guys just want to stay online and send messages all day. I don't know why. You know, I guess they're doing it for fun. You know, I don't know. I guess you. And there's a lot of other things I can be doing for fun, but I'm not sending messages for fun. I'm not sending emails for fun. No, But they never asked the woman for the phone number. Just never do it. I don't know why. I just don't. Right? That's why most people don't meet nobody, because the guys ain't getting the damn phone number. You know, and most women have no desire to meet nobody, regardless of what they say. So you got men don't ask for the number, and women really have no desire to meet nobody. They're just bored. That's why most women are online. Basically, they're just trolling away, bored. They ain't got nothing else to do. They hate their job, or you know, they're lonely, whatever the case may be. That's why it usually go, right? So it's kind of like, you know, so you got women that have scam accounts from these other countries. They're being paid to be on the app, the keep you on there to a certain extent. But as soon as you say, hey, we need to talk, we need to get on the phone, they're gonna be gone. Most of them gonna be gone, right there. That's the cutoff point, because a lot of them can't speak English worth a damn. That's another thing. A lot of them can't speak English worth a damn. So most of the time, you ain't gonna understand what the hell they talking about. Even if you was to get on the phone with someone, you can't. You know, this is just my experience now. I'm telling you. You know, a lot of them can't speak English worth a damn. You know, they can't. But they being paid to be there. You know, now and check this out. There's another percentage of people will take your phone call. They'll give you their number, right? And when you call her, you be like, I don't know what the fuck this bitch talking about. You know, because that's how you know she's a fraud. You know, because if she can't speak no English, why in the hell would she give you her phone number to call? I don't know what she talking about. So if we can't communicate, this ain't going nowhere. I mean, it's already, you can't get a visa and you can't speak English. So what the hell are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So that's how you know this is a sham. You know. And then check this out. Let's say if you let's say you're a patient guy. Her English is broken. You understand a little bit what she's saying or whatever, you know. Over time, like I said, a lot of these broads can't get no visa, right? So they're gonna be like, man, shit, I'm gonna just cut this shit off and keep it moving. So the broad will just stop responding to all your messages over time, and even your phone calls, because she knows that the first thing she gonna say, if you say, hey, you got a passport, answer probably no. You know, can you get a visa? No. She goes, I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money for that stuff. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. That's what most of them going. I ain't got no money. I'm broke. I'm like, God damn, it's a broke bitch. You know what I'm saying? But here's the key. How bad does she want to see you? See, here's the thing. Don't let what you don't have stop you from doing what you want to do in life. Right? See, they don't have no belief. It ain't strong enough. That's why I said, how bad does she really want to see you? Because if she wants to see you bad enough, she will find a way. She will find a way. But she ain't feeling you like that because she all the way over there in Tanzania, some goddamn where. And you are all the way in California. That's a long way. And 9 times out of 10, she's already got a Rolodex of guys over there scheming and scamming away. So, and most of those guys are tricks that she hang out with. So, you and she probably already struggling. She probably was struggling a long time ago. That's why she's on that damn app. You know what I'm saying? So you the new kid on the block, man, you can't compete with all that shit. You out of sight, out of mind. You know? That's why that's why a lot of women won't even entertain a long distance relationship. Because they already know their situation. They're already in a bad situation as it is. Can't get a visa. No passport. Can't speak English worth a damn. I mean, oh man, this is just. And the restrictions that they have to go through is a lot of women will say, man, it ain't worth it. You know, a lot of them will say that because they have low self-esteem because they've been beaten down so bad over there in these other countries. Because women, in my opinion, women get treated badly in these other countries. In these other groups, they treat the women bad. Boy, they were strong arm a bitch. God damn. Woo wee. Well, the first time I went to Japan, I was like, God damn, boy, it slap the taste out of a woman. Ah! Yeah, man. I'm telling you. You know, boy, women get treated badly in these countries. I'm telling you, man. Woo. I'm telling you, boy. I couldn't treat a woman like that. I ain't built like that. Even if she's a hoe, even if she was a stone cold hoe, I still wouldn't treat her like that. I'm the type of guy, what you give off is what you get back. But the other guys don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hold on, I'm gonna move my incense. I got my incense popping. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. So, and I talk about it right here. That's what this book is all about. Yeah, that's what this book is all about. It's a bestseller. First month was a bestseller. Who would ever think? You know, I ain't no celebrity. I ain't no entertainer. I ain't no rapper. I ain't no R&B singer. You know, I'm from South Carolina. That's it. And we representing. I'm representing. I'm like Tupac. I'm representing. You know, we represent our last name. You know, you got to represent your last name. Anything you do, you got to do it big. And you don't have to be a famous person to do some fly shit either. No, you don't. No. All you got to do is stay solid. True to the game. That's it. And give your all. Do your best. That's all you got to do. And just acquire skills in a certain area. That's it. You know? Now, when it comes to being on a job, oh boy, that's the next video I'm going to do. I'm talking about the politics of being on jobs. Oh boy, that's the next video, next live I'm going to do. Yeah, you know. But hey, that's I didn't think I was gonna be on there this long. To be honest, I've been on there 40 minutes. Yeah, yeah. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. Share the video. Yeah, yeah. I didn't think I was gonna be on there this long. I didn't expect a lot of people to be on here because it's after one. It was after 12. Was 12:30 when I got on here. Yeah, so it's after 1 now on the East Coast. East Coast is the best coast. But this is the reason why a lot of long distance relationships don't work, because it's going to be an uphill battle if the girl you're talking to is from a country that um, has a bad reputation, and some people just don't want certain people around. That's usually how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. There's a lot of people from, let's say, Nigeria or Kenya. When you see them in these other countries, you got to always wonder, how'd she get a visa? She probably never got a visa. She probably went there on a vacation and just never left. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it like that. Don't assume that she has a visa. She might be there illegally. You know? And a lot of times, if you're on a vacation, for example, and let's say you go to Dubai or you go to Hawaii, and you see somebody or you go to Japan, you go see somebody from these African countries or really any country that don't have a good reputation, and you might see the broad, and you trying to spit, right? A lot of times, they don't want to fuck with you because you might put them on blast. That's what that is about. That's what that be. A lot of times they'll reject you, they'll ignore you because they feel like, I can't talk to this Black American man. Motherfucker might get me deported. It be like that. I ran into that when I was in Atlanta. This is a while ago now, years ago. The girl was from Venezuela. She was from Venezuela. And we were working together, though. We were working together, right? And I don't even know the name. I don't remember the name of the company that she was working for. But I think it was one of those. She was a temp. It was a temp job. She was a temp, right? And I'm trying to get at her. Her English, well, she didn't speak much English. But I understand a little bit of Spanish. I speak a little Spanish, a little bit, right? But she had a fat ass, and everything was fat, you know. But she was late 20s. I think she was 28 at the time. But I got cock blocked by her. I don't know who that woman was. I don't know if they were related. I know they worked together. I think they were kind of related a little bit. I think her cousin or something like that. Her cousin was an older woman. She's older than me at the time. I think she like 50-something. And I got cold cock block. I'm talking like this shit was obvious. Yeah. I think the old woman saw me talking to her, and she was like, "Hey, come over here, leave him alone." I'm like, "Oh God damn!" Now that old woman from Venezuela, she speaks English, but the young girl didn't really speak no English, very little. So I had to speak Spanish to get my conversation across at the time. And but it took me a while to get at her, because it probably took about 6 months for me to really get at her, like really get her to talk, because in the beginning I saw when they first came in the building, and when they first came in the building, she was just, every time I would see her, she would just keep walking, wouldn't say shit. But this one particular day, she actually stopped and listened to what I had to say. You know what I'm saying? And I told a guy what I just told you, and he was like, well, shit, the reason why she probably did that, because she here illegally, ain't got no visa. And they probably think you gonna tell on them. And I'm like, well, shit, I wasn't even thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even thinking like that. No, I wasn't even thinking like that. My mind, I wasn't even thinking about them being illegal or anything like that. I didn't care, to be honest. That didn't even cross my mind at the time. But a lot of times, that's how they think. They think if they get close to certain people, somebody's going to tell on them. And you know why they think like that? Because if the shoe was on the other foot, that's what they would do to you. They would tell on your ass. If you were here illegally. That's why people think they're projecting their own insecurities. You know what I'm saying? But hey, like, share this episode. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to pick up my best-selling book, my 4th book. I got 2 bestsellers. This is sold more than any of them. Love at First Click on Amazon.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.